Hello everyone, Bonnie here with a Mat Pilates class for you today. This class I'm going to be using the small ball. This is just a small purple ball we have at the gym. If you don't have one of these, just any ball really will work. You just want to make sure that it's slightly deflated. You can see that I can pinch it with my hands. That's going to help it conform more to your back and give you a good amount of support. Today's class is really about feeling good. We're going to do a lot of spinal flexion and extension. So about a 20-minute workout, great place to just really get your back moving. And the ball gives us a lot of good feedback. So let's go ahead and get started with the ball behind you. And you want to place it so that when you are lying down, it's about at the middle of your back, and you're going to kind of have to play with where that is, and having it slightly deflated hopefully will keep it in position as we get into our rolling. We're just going to start leaning against it, bringing the hands behind our head, coming into some breath work. So as we lean back, we're going to open our elbows wide and really think of kind of opening up over that ball. So you're going to take a deep breath in, opening the elbows, expanding the chest. And then as you exhale, support the head and neck, draw the elbows in, and come into an ab curl. Don't worry if you can't go all the way back. Please do what feels good on your body. And really be mindful of the neck here. We're trying to create length. So as I go back, I want to avoid just dropping the head, but more opening the chest, breathing it in, and exhale, supporting the lift. And let's take one more like this, come into that big spinal extension, and exhale. Now lean back against it, so you're just kind of reclined, and we're just going to take a lateral bend. So I'm reaching my elbow toward my hip bone, through the middle, and then to the other side. So just kind of a gentle rocking motion. And I'm trying to use my legs to anchor. They might sway a little bit, but I'm trying to use that so I can get a better side stretch as I go back and forth. And just move through the torso here, one more each way. And then bring it back to center. And you may constantly have to adjust, and that's all right. I'm going to bring my legs out as I come into a full roll-up. Reaching the arms long to start. Float the arms up, tuck the chin to the chest, and you use that little support of the ball to come up. Stretching forward, and then hopefully the ball didn't go anywhere. So it catches you on your way back, and you go into whatever level of extension feels good to you, and continue these roll-ups, tucking and rolling up, stretching forward, and then coming down and lengthen. Again, reach, breathing out to stretch, and then bring it back and relax the shoulders down, open. And once more, reach, and back. Now just add a little bit of rotation. So as I come up, I'm going to reach to the outside, my right leg, and just turn the body and come through center. I'm not going to go back as far, just enough to get a little bit of extension, come up and twist, and back. So a lot of flow today, a lot of moving of the torso, areas that we don't move enough. Just give yourself that permission to rotate, move, flex, extend. Breathe out, breathe in. One more here, breathe out, and breathe on in. And then just allow yourself to stretch. And hopefully you can lay your head back. If that's kind of a far reach, you can always put a little pillow or towel underneath there so you're not reaching too much. I'm just going to kind of slide my rib cage side to side against the ball here. And next we're gonna come into an abdominal series. So I'm gonna curl back up, bring the ball a little bit higher on the shoulder blades, and then step the feet back in so they're flat on the mat. Bringing the hands behind the head. We wanna take a second here and really make sure that you're engaged supporting the low back. So you don't wanna be pooched out here. You wanna really draw the navel into the spine and maintain that position. So even as I lie back here, I want to avoid this extra popping at the ribs. So I'm gonna isolate my upper abdominals on these ab curls. So the movement's smaller. And when I come up, I think about pressing into the ball and pressing my head back into my hands so that the movement truly comes from those upper abs, right? Getting the rib cage to fold down toward the pelvis here. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. And again, lengthening back. And fold. And let's do one more like this. And fold. Adding some rotation. Take it back. And then turn. Try to keep the elbows wide and the legs still. And back. And then to the opposite side. So one thing I want you to notice, be careful of, is see that my knees aren't shifting, meaning one leg's not coming away. Both knees stay aligned with one another. Inhale, lengthen it back. And exhale, rotate around. Inhale to stretch it out. Exhale to twist. And back. And twist. So adding on to this, I'm going to bring my left leg a little more center for balance. Take the right leg out long. As I curl up, we're going to twist to the right, bringing the right knee in, and think more about shoulder to thigh instead of elbow to knee. So I'm really open here, and then lengthen, control that extension back. So it's a rotation and a controlled stretch. Breathe it out and inhale, lengthen. Exhale to twist and inhale to stretch. Not sure how many. How about two more? Up till we really feel our obliques working here. Twist and let's set it down. Other side, take the left leg, plant the right foot. Little bit of extension to begin. Exhale, bend the knee and twist. Inhale, find that length. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, lengthen. And twist. And stretch. Exhale, breathe out. And think navel stays pulled in. Pelvis stays stable. And about two more here, feeling that burn in the center. One last time, rotate and center, give it a stretch back. All right, from here, let's come all the way up. And now I'm gonna lay with the ball underneath the sacrum. So I'm gonna come back and place the ball right underneath the hips. As we go into some more spinal flexion, a little bit of inversion work. Press the arms down into the mat. And you're gonna pick up the legs one at a time, might be a little shaky, finding your balance. And we're just gonna take a knee, kind of a knee hug into the chest. So I'm gonna draw my knees in, really as much as I can. So I'm still on the ball, but eventually I'll be coming off, so I just try to find that stretch. And then I'm gonna bring the knees right back over the hips. On the exhale, press into the back of the arms, draw the belly and hug the knees as tightly as you can. And then back to tabletop. Pull in. And stretch. One more time here, working on that deep lumbar flexion into the low spine. And then release. Now working in the other direction. So this is work on the low belly muscles to stabilize. we're gonna take the legs and arc them away from us. Now we have to be careful here to not pop the ribs and the belly. I'm pulling down against the movement of my thighs and then using those muscles to lift. Your feet do not have to touch the ground. What you're trying to do is figure out how low you can arc them, maintaining that neutral spine position. So I'm really connected in my center as the legs reach away, and then use those muscles to pull up. And again, breathing in and breathing out. Feel the back of the arms kind of anchor into the ground here. And then pull in. So we're gonna go a little bigger with these movements. With the knee drawing into the chest, I'm gonna push into the arms and hover the hips off. Again, as long as you don't have any issues in the neck and you can still talk, then you're gonna roll down, hoping that that ball stayed so it catches you. And then from here, take that thigh lower, kind of preparation for that abdominal pull. So draw navel into spine, roll it over, and then roll it down, and let that legs arc away. And just add a little more flow to this. So it's up and over. This is a great prep for the rollover. And not being afraid to just move. Going slow just isn't getting you there. Just speed up a little bit. Create a little more sense of flow and rhythm to your movements. Let's go 2 more. And roll it down. And 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. And bring it all the way down. Step the feet to the mat. And then lift the hips, take the ball out, and lower all the way down. Very good. From here, we're gonna draw underneath our legs, rock and roll ourselves up, and come into a side-facing position with the ball under the rib cage here. So I'm gonna lie down. You might have to just do a little bit of adjusting to get yourself in a comfortable spot. So I have my knees bent. They're stacked one on top of the other. I'm gonna have one hand right in front, and my other hand's behind the head with the elbow pointed forward so that I can lay over the ball. I'm going to press into the hand that's on the mat and lengthen this shape up and lower it down. So the bend's coming from through the waistline there. Press, breathing in, and exhale. Inhale to length on the bottom side of the body, and then lower it down. And it's okay to use that bottom arm to create that lift. A lot of times we're just so tight in our side bodies that we need to use the arms to help us get a stretch here. Lift and lower. And 1 more, find the lift. Hold that lift. This is where you can play with taking that arm away, checking in with your strength, and try to pulse up, and 3, 2, and 1. Take it down. Very nice work. Other side. So swing it on around. Setup is really, really important here. So take your time, organize. Remember, the bottom elbow comes forward to allow you to roll over the ball, and top hand is in front for support. Hips are stacked, knees are stacked. We press up and lower down. So I'm using an inhale, kind of facilitate that length. You can use whatever breath makes the most sense to you. But we're not using really momentum today. We're really focusing on the breath and the feedback of that ball to help us get a deeper sensation of the movements, where they are coming from. Lift and lower. And we'll go for 2 more. Lift And then take a lift here. See about holding it. And we take little pulses. Go for 3 and 2 and 1 and down. Right, onto our bellies into some extension work. Now the ball is going to be underneath the sternum, kind of the breastbones. Of course, feel free to adjust if you have discomfort at all in this position. And I'm going to round forward over the ball with the hands behind the head and the elbows just coming wide, just slightly here. And using a breath, I'm going to pick the elbows up, so that's drawing the shoulder blades together, and create length. So the ball's not going to allow me to come too high, but it's going to assist the lift. So I breathe in and then exhale over. So this is where you don't want it too low, that you're really pressing into the rib cage, more under the sternum and down. And as I rise, think about pushing the ball forward with the breastbone. Inhale and exhale. And then this time, lift up, hold. Take the right arm, it's going to reach back and rotate, looking back, and then bring it center. Lower down to the other side, lift, reach with the left and twist. Come back to center and down. And just repeat, up, to the right, and center and down. And lift to the left. Hip bones are heavy on the mat. And lengthen, twist, center, and down. Last time, up, and reach, and center, and down. Place the hands down. Give yourself a child's pose stretch. And bringing it on up. And lastly, we're going to do a series where we sit right on top of the ball. So of course, it's going to depend on kind of what kind you have and what feels comfortable for you. But it's just right underneath you, and this helps you really get a nice lift so we can get some big stretches in our seated work today. So legs out in front. You should be able to get them nice and straight because our hips are propped up. Feet are flexed. Arms come forward into spine stretch. So we draw the belly back, creating length through our lumbar spine. Shoulder blades separate. Reach forward into that spine stretch. And then roll the spine up tall, stacking one vertebra on top of the other. And then take a spine twist. I'm going to open to you. Inhale. Exhale, pull it back to the other side. Inhale, open. And exhale, center. Spine stretch again. Breathe it out, stretch. And roll it up. Tall. And inhale to the right. And center. And other way. And center. Do this again. Really find that length like you're peeling off a wall. And roll yourself on up. And turn to the right. Inhale. And exhale, center. Other way. And center. One more set here. Take it over. And roll on up. And turn it to the right. And center. And turn it to the left. And center. Bring it all the way down. Go ahead and slide off the ball so it's still behind you like where it was at the beginning. Go ahead and lie on back. And we're going to extend our legs and reach the arms all the way overhead. Full body stretch here. Take the arms, circle them out to your sides. Tuck the chin to the chest. Peel yourself all the way up, reaching forward. And then just float down. Once again, full stretch, arms circle around. Tuck, scoop, roll up and over. and roll it down. So we just have a little more freedom in this movement this time around. 2 more times, roll it up and over, and up to go back. Keeping the legs as relaxed as you can through these, up, and finish going back. And this time just stay in this long stretch for a couple deep breaths, really expanding through the front body. Exhaling. And once more, deep breath in and exhale. Come out of it safely. Go ahead and bend the knees so the feet are flat. Bring the hands behind the head to support that position, and you can roll yourself on up. And that is it for today. So, as always, thank you guys for joining me. I will see you next time.